So today is day one of me learning Portuguese. I am trying to learn Portuguese, but I am going to be using some Brazilian Portuguese resources as well. So as an example, I'm going to be using Rosetta Stone, and Rosetta Stone is Brazilian Portuguese. Okay, so today I'll be going over my experience with Rosetta Stone, which is again Brazilian Portuguese. Okay, so first of all, I do not know any Portuguese at all. My grandfather spoke it and did not speak too much English, but he never taught his children, so I never had the opportunity. I didn't have the opportunity in school to learn. It was never offered, and it wasn't taught in my household. Okay, so let's go over what I learned today. So first, we did the word homem. So homem means man. And so if you were to use it in a sentence, you would say o homem. And if it were to become plural, that there are multiple men, the N at the end, actually, the M at the end changes to an N. So it would become os homens. Okay. So the next word that I learned was menino, which means boy. And so it's kind of like niño, it's kind of like niño in Spanish, but different pronunciation and with an M-E at the start. And so when you're using that in a sentence, you would say, o menino, and if it were to be boys, plural, you would say, os meninos. Okay. So then the next word I learned was menina, which means girl. And just like how menino is kind of like Spanish with niño, menina is spelled kind of like niña in Spanish. So it's M-E and then niña, kind of. Right? Okay, so to use menina in a sentence, you would say a menina. If it were to be more than one girl, plural, it would become as meninas. Okay, the next word I learned was mulher, and that means woman. To use it in a sentence, you would say a mulher, or if there were multiple women, you would say as mulheres. I think I need to redo the pronunciation. Sorry, I'm learning these words along with you. So I'm going to tomorrow go over that pronunciation again. Okay, so then they went in to explain how to say she, he, and they. So to say she, and my pronunciation's not good on this. To say she, it would be ele. And I'm gonna practice that pronunciation. Versus he, which is kind of confusing, is ele. It's just spelled differently, but they sound the same to me. But I don't have a trained ear on Portuguese. Okay, so then when you get to the plural of they, right, it goes to elas, and that is for they, female, so multiple girls, versus eles, which is they, and that could be all males, multiple boys and men, or it can mean multiple boys and girls, men and women. That is how they do plural when both sexes are present. Okay. So then they went over a lot of verbs. This was a very vocab-rich lesson that I completed for the first day. I put my understanding at no understanding. I've never studied Portuguese, so they were giving me a lot of vocab on the first day. Okay, so then we jumped into verbs, and for verbs, I'll get us started. they did bebendo. And so I am bebendo coffee. I got to learn how to say that one. So bebendo is to be drinking something. Okay, the next one. This one was a surprise, the pronunciation, because I'm looking at the words and then predicting how are they going to be pronounced based off of my limited understanding of Spanish and a little bit of French. And so the word for running in Spanish is corre. And so when I look at the word, I think I need to have that tongue roll again. No, this one's much easier to pronounce. Correndo. And so that is running. Okay. The next vocab word I learned was lendo, which is to be reading. Cocinando, cooking. One thing that I found very interesting as I was learning the verbs is that unlike in Spanish, where the end keeps changing for male to female, depending on what is happening in the context, which to me has been a big challenge that I've had, is figuring out the grammar of changing the male versus female ending of words. So far, wishful thinking, there has been a lot less changing of the verbs when male to female. Okay. Okay, the next word I learned was nando, which means swimming. Okay, the next word was escribiendo, which means to be writing. Then I learned comendo, which is to be eating. Then I learned to put the sentences together. So I'm not going to do this perfectly. I really am not. But as an example, homem está bebendo. So the man is drinking, right? So está is. And then this pronunciation I really don't have down either. Estao is are. So you'll use that in a plural. So I'm going to try again to form a sentence, but again, I'm very new at this, so please bear with me. So we're going to do as meninas estão lendo. The girls are reading, right? Okay. So I learned all of those, and then to wrap up my lesson, I learned ciao. They say ciao to say hi and bye. So I hope you were able to get some information from this. So far, I was very pleased with my day one Rosetta Stone lesson. I feel like I got a lot of information. I did have to pause a lot to write down my notes. But I was really glad to feel like I was learning a lot during my time that I spent on Rosetta Stone today. All right, I will see you tomorrow. Bye-bye.